Well, hello. Hi. Happy Friday. Queenetus here. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're rocking it. I hope you're killing it. I hope you're just doing the best you can right now to become the ultimate version of yourself. Just because you can. That's it. Not because of anything else. Just because you can. Just because you are that strong. Just because you have that much potential. Just because you are that much of a ninja. Let's go ahead and talk about what does it really mean when we hear the art to master oneself. Like, what does it really mean when you hear people talking about mastering self? Well, I looked it up and it says to master oneself means to have a deep understanding of one's own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So, to have a deep understanding of why you think the way you think, why you feel the way you feel, and why you behave the way that you behave. And to have control over them, meaning have enough control to tell yourself, no, we're not going to dwell on the negative today. We're going to change that. That's what it means. To say, well, I do feel sad, but I'm not going to let this emotion take over my day and ruin my day. That's what it means to have control over them, to have control over the way that you behave. Well, yes, somebody offended me, somebody insulted me, but I'm not going to react in the same manner. It also says it involves being able to regulate one's own responses to situations and to make deliberate choices about how to act and react. Well, what we just said. It also involves having a clear sense of one's own values and goals, and working to align one's actions with those values. So if you say, well, my goal in life is to serve the people in need, then you have to make sure that your actions match that goal. We can't just talk, and not do what we need to do to back up those words. I mean, we can, but you know, I wouldn't recommend it. I would just recommend just shutting up. If you're not going to do what you say you will do, then I just recommend shutting up. Like don't say anything. Might as well just don't say anything. You will look better at the end. So, what is the first step to mastering self? Well, besides self-discovery, I mean, self-discovery is like officially the first step because you have to discover who you are as a person, as a human being, as a eternal being. You have to discover who you are in order to master who you are, right? But before we get to that point of being able to discover ourselves, I believe that we have to get rid of all the dead weight from our lives. Because if we try to self discover holding on to the dead weight in our lives, then you're not going to discover much. And that's why probably you haven't discovered much. Because you keep on hanging on to all of the dead weight in your life, whether that dead weight is mental, aka anxiety, physical, aka a dirty house, being overweight, eating junk food, or whether that dead weight is emotional, like depression, lacking hope, having nothing to look forward to, so you're sad and emotional and not really feeling all that great, or whether that dead weight is spiritual, meaning you really have no idea what's the point of life, you feel disconnected, you don't have a purpose in life, you don't have goals, you don't have a mission, you just like feeling like a lost soul. Or whether that dead weight is social, because dead weight could also be social, meaning when you have toxic friendships or toxic relationships, or even a relationship with your kids, with your children, with your family, with anything social and toxic, that's social dead weight in my book. So as long as you have these five type of dead weight, and let me tell you, each of these you can fit a lot of examples, like under mental, physical, emotional, social, spiritual. There's a long list that goes under each one of these. But let's just keep it simple and let's say, as long as you don't really start working towards, hey, why am I so anxious? Why am I so fearful all the time? Why is my house dirty all the time? Why don't I care about the food that I eat? Why am I overweight? Why do I feel depressed all the time? Why do I feel disconnected all the time? Why do I hang on to toxic friendships and relationships? Until you don't start questioning all of these things, you will never even begin to start getting rid of the dead weight. Because one cannot change that which we are not aware of. So the first step for any type of change is become aware of it. It's calling your own BS out. That's first step towards change. Today we're talking about the first step towards getting rid of the dead weight. But you see how one thing goes into another, right? It's like, that's why it's so massive and so abstract and so huge and so intimidating, and not very many people actually put in the work because it's overwhelming. Like, where do I start? Personal growth is no joke. It's like a never ending, lifelong process of improving yourself. Like, it never ends because you can always be better. So today I invite you to start looking at the dead weight in your life and start coming to terms with it. Start accepting it. Like, nobody's asking you to change it. Nobody's asking you to do anything. All I'm asking you is to just come to terms with it. Like, yes, I do have toxic friendships. I do have friends that treat me like crap, and I keep on talking to them. I don't really know why. Just because it's better than being alone. Okay, just come to terms with that, so then you can be like, okay, so why am I so uncomfortable with being alone? What's up with me? Why can I self-soothe? Why can I comfort myself? Why can I keep myself company? Why do I always have to be surrounded by people? Why don't I care about that quality of people that I keep around? Why am I so why am I so accepting of BS? Well, I could tell you what really quick because you don't love yourself, but that's besides the point. Today we're talking about mastering self, not self-love. I need to I need to give self-love a break. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's talk about mastering self. Mastering self and self-love they are two wings to the same bird. because you can't do one without the other. You can't really love yourself unless you have mastered yourself. So start questioning why. Especially, let's start with the social dead weight, that's because it's very obvious. You can actually like pinpoint that really quick. You're like, yeah, she did this, she said this, she treated me like this, and why am I still talking to them? uh, until you don't make room for new healthy friendships to come in, you will always have to deal with this toxicity that you have been dealing with when it comes to your friendships, to your relationships. Oh my God, it's like I dated the same person, the same energy, the same vibe in different people over and over again. That's why I decided to stay single for so long, because I'm like, there's no way I'm attracting that again. There's no point. What's the point of jumping from one relationship into another if history it's always going to continue repeating itself? Like, what's the point? I might as well just be by myself and work on myself so much and become the absolute most bad ass version of myself that the next person that I attract is going to be, it's going to be a true ninja like me. And believe me, the law of attraction really works and you will attract it. The law of attraction works for good or for bad. There is no time to waste. Check it out. It's already January 7th. And before we know it, it will be Christmas again. And then before we know it, it will be January 7th again. And then it will be Christmas again. And then it will be your birthday again. And then one day you will wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm 70 years old. What have I done with my life? What have I learned? Have I experienced life? Have I enjoyed life? Have I lived a successful life? And a successful life does not mean, has nothing to do with money. Nothing, absolutely nothing to do with money. A successful life means to have done your best to actually live and enjoy life, experience life, not just being cooped up in some place every single day until you die, not just living fearful for the rest of your life, not just surrounding yourself with shady people for the rest of your life. Life is all about interaction, connection, and that feeling of belonging. But what's the point if you have those three things with people that are shady, that are toxic, that don't love themselves? What's the point? Like, that's why I'm so selective with the people that I surround myself with. Because I don't have any time to waste. I want my interactions to be the most meaningful, the most pure, the most genuine, the most authentic. That's what I'm after. Those are my values. So I'm going to make sure that I surround myself with people that are authentic, that are genuine, that are driven, that have a good heart, that are kind. What are your values? What do you want to surround yourself with? Get very clear about your dead weight and start making room to invite, to attract the reality that you know you deserve. So starting today, start calling your own dead weight out. Like, yes, I am anxious, and yes, I become overwhelmed by multitasking very easily. That's all mental. Yes, my house is dirty and I'm very disorganized. Everything is everywhere. And I think that I don't care, but do I really care? Or do I feel better when the house is clean? Do I feel better when my laundry is all folded and put up nicely? Or yes, I'm a little overweight. Yes, I shouldn't be eating, hamburgers all the time or whatever it is that you eat. That's crap. I shouldn't be drinking cokes all the time. I shouldn't be eating all that white sugar poison stuff that I use in my coffee every single day. I shouldn't be drinking that many Red Bulls. Whatever it is, call it out. Or emotional dead weight. Yes, I am depressed, and I shouldn't. Why am I depressed? Go back to your childhood days, because all of your depression today stems from then. It originated back then. Whatever you went through when you were a child, don't ignore it, don't repress it, don't distract yourself from it. Sit there and think about it. And it's just like, yes, it hurts and yes, it's uncomfortable. But the more that you think about the uncomfortable things that happen in your life that traumatize you emotionally, the more that you will desensitize yourself from those experiences and the more that you will be able to understand them. It's like sit there and pick apart your feelings, every one of them. No more ignoring them, no more repressing them, no more acting like they never happened, because they happened. Your parents did put you through those things. They were just doing the best they could, and you have to forgive them. You have to understand that they were not emotionally intelligent enough to give you the blank slate that every kid deserves. It's like as soon as we're born, we're screwed. Us, unless we have really, really cool parents, really emotionally intelligent parents. Ask yourself, why do I feel disconnected? Like spiritually. Nobody's saying go to church. Nobody's saying practice religion, but there is a part of every human that needs to be connected with that side of them, with that spiritual side. Read up on different religions, read up on the universe, read up on the law of attraction. Just do your research. Don't just sit there and feel disconnected and don't go out there and don't do anything about it. Do something, anything. Google stuff up. Read. If you don't like reading, well, then just put YouTube videos and then let them play while you clean, while you do something else. That's what I do. I couldn't just sit there watching a YouTube video like for hours, but believe me that I will play them. I nonstop. I play videos about whatever it is that I'm learning in that moment. And it really does help. And you really do learn, but you have to wonder. And last but not least, get rid of all those toxic friends that you have. Like nobody's saying do it all at once, but do it. Start with one at a time. It's as easy as not being as engaged at first, and then you just kind of like separate yourself from them until the point that where you just grow apart. It works. Need to make room for the new. So go clean your house. Go look up why are you so anxious. Go look up why you're so depressed. Go look up why you feel so disconnected spiritually, and then go and get rid of one, just one toxic friend. That's it, guys. That's all I got for you today. Till next time.